try closing your eyes for a moment. Let's fast forward through a typical day of yours, like a slow-motion film, hauntingly familiar. You wake up, and your first act is sitting up in bed. You move to the breakfast table and settle into a chair. You step out the door, mount your motorbike or slide into a car seat, merging into a sea of people crawling through clouds of dust and smoke. Reaching the office, you sink into a plush swivel chair and remain frozen there for 8 long hours in front of a glowing blue screen. Lunch is a brief intermission, but again, you are seated. In the evening, you vouch for a seat on the ride home, and you end your day by sinking deep into the sofa, letting images on the TV flicker past your eyes before finally lying down to sleep. We are living in a strange era, the seated era. For the first time in the 300,000-year history of Homo sapiens, humans spend the vast majority of their waking hours motionless. We have engineered a world of terrifying convenience. We invented elevators so we don't have to climb stairs, escalators to move up while standing still, hoverboards to glide without lifting a foot, and delivery services so that everything reaches our hands without us ever stepping out the door. Subconsciously, we have defaulted to the belief that walking is a waste of time, inefficient, something to be minimized. But do you know what happens when a river stops flowing? It doesn't become a peaceful pond. It turns into a stagnant puddle. Algae takes over, the water grows murky, and the life within slowly suffocates. The human body operates exactly like that river. When you stop moving, you aren't simply resting. You are, in a biological sense, rotting. Random anxiety, persistent depression, obesity, insomnia, or a total drain of creative ideas. All these modern ailments may stem from a deep-rooted cause we often overlook. Your legs have forgotten their primal function. Over 2,000 years ago, Hippocrates, the father of Western medicine, left us a piece of advice that modern science still bows to today. Walking is man's best medicine. Notice, he didn't say running, he didn't say lifting weights, he didn't mention high-intensity interval training that leaves you gasping for air. He spoke of the simplest, most instinctive act, walking. This podcast isn't about how many calories you burn or how to get a slim waistline. We are diving deep into walking as healing. Together, we will decode why this simple act of shifting your weight from one foot to the other is the master key to unlocking your brain, soothing a hurting heart, and reconnecting with your soul. But before we begin this journey, if you love content that nourishes the soul and improves your English every day, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with your loved ones. Also, please subscribe to support the Simple English Daily team. Now, lace up your shoes. Our journey begins right now. To truly understand the importance of walking, we must take a trip back in time to a milestone about 6 million years ago. The question is, what truly makes us human? What separated our ancestors from apes and other primates? Many would quickly answer a big brain or language. But in reality, the big brain was a gift that came later. The very first characteristic, the turning point that branched off the human lineage, was bipedalism, the ability to stand tall and walk on 2 legs. Imagine the scene. The dense forests of Africa began to thin out due to climate change. Our ancestors were forced to leave the shelter of the canopy and step onto the vast, windswept savanna. To survive, they had to stand up. Standing upright didn't just help them spot predators from afar or reduce the body area exposed to the scorching sun. More importantly, it freed their hands. Free hands to craft tools, to carry food, and to cradle their young. But the greatest adaptation lies in our legs. The human body is a masterpiece of biological engineering, designed specifically for long-distance walking. Look at the spring-like arches of your feet, the S-curve of your spine for shock absorption, and your flexible hip joints. In terms of speed, humans are no match for a cheetah. In terms of strength, we cannot compete with a bear or a lion. But in terms of endurance, humans are the champions of the animal kingdom. A prehistoric human could walk 20 to 30 kilometers a day under a blistering sun to track prey until the animal collapsed from sheer exhaustion, known as persistence hunting. We are nomads. Our genetic code is programmed to expect movement. For millions of years, waking up and moving meant life. Walking to find water, walking to forage, walking to hunt. When you walk, you send a powerful, ancient signal to every cell of your DNA. I am alive. I am interacting with the world. I am fulfilling my biological mission. And your body, in that joy, rewards you with a strong immune system, mental clarity, and abundant energy. Conversely, the tragedy of modern life is this. When you sit still for more than 6 hours a day, your body receives a misleading but dangerous signal. It seems we are sick, or we have a broken bone, or we are waiting to die. In nature, only an injured or dying animal lies still for that long. Upon receiving that signal, the body triggers its energy-saving mode, or rather, a self-destruct sequence. Metabolism drops to a minimum, fat-burning enzymes shut down, muscles begin to wither, and visceral fat accumulates to store up for the illness it imagines is coming. So, remember, walking is not exercise. Walking is the default state of being for a human. When you walk, you are coming home to the sacred temple that is your body. To truly understand why walking is a comprehensive healing remedy, let's use an imaginary microscope to look deep inside your body. We are about to witness a magnificent biological symphony that rises with every step you take. Modern science has discovered 3 key mechanisms in this process. These mechanisms prove that moving your legs is not just mere exercise. It is the most sustainable way to maintain life at a cellular level. The first and most vital mechanism is the operation of the second heart. You might be astonished to learn that you possess a blood-pumping machine outside of your chest. This machine is located right in your calf muscles, and it plays a critical role. The human circulatory system is essentially a grueling two-way traffic network. Arteries are responsible for carrying oxygen-rich blood from the heart to nourish the body. This is relatively easy because the heart acts as a high-powered pump. However, the return journey of blood through the veins is a difficult battle. Blood from your feet must move against gravity to climb back up to the heart and lungs. Our veins lack a powerful pump like the heart to assist them. So, what does this system rely on? The answer lies in what is called the calf muscle pump. With every step you take, your calf muscles contract powerfully. This action squeezes the deep veins and shoots the blood back upward. It works much like squeezing a tube of toothpaste to push the contents out. When you choose a sedentary lifestyle and sit for too long, this vital pump is shut down. Blood begins to pool in the legs due to the constant pull of gravity. Over time, the venous valves endure immense pressure and gradually weaken. This is the root cause of varicose veins and swollen feet at the end of the day. More dangerously, stagnant blood can form clots, known as thrombosis. These clots can travel to the lungs, causing sudden, fatal complications. Therefore, walking is how you flip the switch for your second heart to run, keeping the river of life within you flowing continuously. Parallel to the blood flow, your body possesses another crucial fluid system, the lymphatic system. If blood vessels are the clean water supply, the lymphatic system is the body's sewage system. It acts as the garbage trucks that collect toxins and bacteria. Its mission is to clear out cellular waste and deliver it to the lymph nodes for disposal. However, there is a harsh reality about this system that few people know. The lymphatic system has no heart of its own to pump fluid around. It is a passive system and can only move when your body moves. When you sit still, the lymphatic system becomes clogged like a stagnant drain. Biological waste accumulates in the tissues, leading to numerous health issues. As a result, your immune system weakens, and you become prone to minor illnesses. You will often feel heavy, wake up with a puffy face, and suffer from brain fog. The rhythmic vibration of walking creates the necessary mechanical pressure. The contraction of your muscles pushes lymphatic fluid to circulate more powerfully than ever. By spending just 20 minutes walking each day, you are performing a deep clean for your body. This keeps your immune system sharp and healthy. Walking is simply the easiest way to tidy up your internal environment every single day. The third mechanism, which offers immense benefits for energy management, is blood sugar regulation. We often hear about complex and difficult diets. However, there is a very simple biological secret to weight control and diabetes prevention: a gentle walk immediately after eating. When you consume food, especially carbohydrates, your blood sugar spikes, a phenomenon scientists call a glucose spike. If you eat and then sit down immediately, that sugar remains in excess in the bloodstream. At this point, the pancreas must work overtime to secrete insulin, storing that excess sugar into fat cells, which leads to weight gain. But if you stand up and walk for just 10 to 15 minutes after a meal, a miracle happens. The large muscle groups in your legs act like giant sponges. They soak up glucose directly from the blood to use as immediate energy for movement. This process happens naturally without the body needing to release excessive insulin. As a result, your blood sugar remains stable and safe. You avoid that post-meal drowsiness known as a food coma. At the same time, this habit dramatically reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. This isn't mystical magic, it is a smart survival mechanism that nature has gifted to humans. If the physical benefits aren't enough to convince you to stand up, let's talk about the brain. Have you ever wondered why the best ideas often don't come when you're staring intensely at a computer screen? Breakthrough solutions often drop from the sky while you are strolling in a park or taking a shower. This is no coincidence. Neuroscientists today have found fascinating scientific evidence proving that your footsteps have a direct and powerful connection to the brain's structure. First, we need to learn about a special protein called BDNF. Scientists call this fertilizer for human intelligence. When you walk at a brisk pace, your body begins to produce this precious protein. BDNF acts as a miracle nutrient for neurons. It stimulates the formation of new brain cells, a process called neurogenesis. Besides creating new cells, BDNF helps repair and protect old ones from aging. It strengthens the connections between synapses, allowing information to travel faster and more accurately. Specifically, this protein has the strongest impact on the hippocampus, the most important center for memory and learning in humans. A famous study tracked older adults over a long period. Those who maintained a habit of walking 40 minutes a day, 3 times a week, showed an incredible result after a year. The size of their hippocampus actually increased significantly. They reversed the brain shrinkage typically caused by age, something previously thought impossible by medical science. In this sense, walking is the fountain of youth for your intellect. In addition to chemicals, we must mention the mechanism of eye movement. Dr. Andrew Huberman at Stanford University explained the phenomenon of optic flow. As you walk forward, your eyes naturally scan the environment. You see trees, roads, and buildings passing through your field of vision. These images move from front to back, creating a continuous flow. This phenomenon has a magical effect on the human psyche. It directly calms the amygdala, the brain's center for detecting threats, which produces anxiety, fear, and stress. When you are angry or feeling stuck, sitting still often makes things worse. Your brain falls into a state of negative rumination. It feels trapped in a danger with no exit. However, the moment you stand up and step outside for just 10 minutes, everything changes. Forward motion sends a safety signal to the primitive brain. It announces that we are moving and that we are not trapped. We are leaving difficulties and dangers behind. Walking is truly the most natural sedative, with zero side effects. Another massive benefit of walking is the promotion of divergent thinking. This is the ability to look at a problem from many different angles. It helps you break old ruts and find creative solutions. A Stanford study found that walking increases creative output by an average of 60%. This is why great figures in history were obsessed with walking. Steve Jobs was famous for his walking meetings. Philosophers like Nietzsche and composers like Beethoven walked for hours every day to find inspiration. Why does walking make us more creative? The answer lies in the rhythm of our feet. When you walk, your body enters a gentle state of hypnosis caused by the steady left-right rhythm. At this moment, the prefrontal cortex, which controls rigid logic and constant judgment, is allowed to relax. Your mind is permitted to wander. In these moments of incidental daydreaming, unexpected connections between unrelated ideas emerge. You find solutions you never would have thought of before. Imagine you are facing a tough problem at work. You've sat at your desk for 3 hours but can't find a way out. Your brain is drained and exhausted. Instead of trying to squeeze out every last drop of energy, choose a smarter way. Stand up, put on comfortable shoes, and step outside. Don't try to think about work. Let your feet lead the way and let your eyes observe the world. You will find your breath deepening and your heart rate stabilizing. Your neurons begin to soak in fresh BDNF. Your inner anxiety will gradually fade thanks to the steady optic flow. Walking is not just an exercise for muscles. It is a ritual to cleanse the mind and regenerate the soul. As you walk, you engage in a silent dialogue with yourself. You allow yourself to temporarily step away from the noise of phone notifications and the pressure of deadlines. Each step is an assertion of your freedom. You are not a machine built for constant labor. You are a living being that needs movement and space to grow. Great ideas never like the confinement of four walls, they crave open spaces and the natural rhythm of life. So, starting today, create a new habit for yourself. If you feel tired, walk. If you feel angry, walk. If you are out of ideas, walk. Don't wait until you have free time. Make walking an indispensable part of your daily schedule. A short 15-minute walk after lunch can be more effective than an hour of stressful sitting. You will return to your desk with a brand new mindset, clearer, calmer, and full of inspiration. Remember, the human body was designed to move. We were not born to sit still for 8 hours a day. When you move, your entire internal system functions more efficiently. Better blood circulation brings more oxygen to the brain. Happiness hormones like endorphins are released, making you feel more alive. These benefits accumulate over time, creating a massive shift in your quality of life. You will find yourself not only physically healthier but also mentally stronger. The answer to your troubles often doesn't lie on a bright computer screen or in dry spreadsheets. It might be waiting for you at the 1000th step in a park near your home. Give your brain a chance to breathe. Give your mind a space to wander. And let your feet open new doors to creativity. Life is a long journey, and the best way to enjoy it is to walk it on your own 2 feet. Now that we fully understand the why, it is time to discuss the how, the most effective way to put this into practice. You might smile and think to yourself that walking is far too simple. After all, we've been doing it since we were a year old. That is true, but to transform an unconscious daily movement into a true healing therapy for the mind and body, you need a bit of strategy and a touch of finesse. First, let's debunk the myth of the 10,000 steps goal, which has become a psychological burden for many. You might be surprised to learn that this number did not originate from any official medical research. It actually came from a highly successful Japanese marketing campaign in 1964 to sell a pedometer called Manpo-K. Modern science has clarified that you don't need to struggle at all costs to hit that 10,000 step mark if it makes you feel pressured. The sweet spot for longevity and health actually lies around 7,000 to 8,000 steps per day. Even just adding 2,000 steps to your normal routine can make a massive difference. Don't let soulless numbers stress you out. The core philosophy here is always something is better than nothing. Remember, 10 minutes of high-quality walking is 1,000 times better than not moving at all. Next, we must learn to distinguish between mindful walking and tech zombie walking. If you observe the streets today, you will see many people walking with their eyes glued to their phones and headphones blasting music. Their bodies are outdoors, but their minds are still exhausted, wandering through the endless digital noise of the internet. That is not rest, it is a continuous consumption of information that drains your nervous system. To truly heal, I challenge you to take a tech-free walk. Try to set aside at least 15 to 20 minutes a day to walk without your phone, without music, and without podcasts. This is when you perform a natural dopamine detox for your brain. Initially, you might feel very bored, but learn to cherish that boredom because that is when creativity begins to sprout. When the brain is not overstimulated by constant information, it activates the default mode network to help you empathize and understand yourself better. Focus on listening to the wind, observing the changing shades of the sky, and feeling the texture of the ground beneath your feet. That is true freedom. Beyond the mind, your posture plays a vital role. Walking the wrong way not only causes back pain but also diminishes your inner spirit. Learn to walk like a king or a queen, a master of your own life with ultimate confidence. Keep your head held high, eyes looking toward the horizon rather than down at your feet or your phone. Let your shoulders relax and drop. We tend to hunch our shoulders when stressed. Your arms should swing gently and naturally in rhythm with your steps to create balance. Gently engage your lower abdominal muscles to protect your spine, and land on your heels, rolling through to your toes for a rhythmic push. Different times of day offer different golden benefits. An early morning walk is a miracle cure for sleep, as sunlight helps reset your circadian rhythm and keeps you alert. A post-meal walk is a powerful weapon against diabetes and prevents fat storage. Meanwhile, a gentle evening walk helps you decompress and draws a clear boundary between work and quality time with your family. Finally, for those who love to optimize and want to burn more energy, try rucking. This simply involves wearing a light backpack, about 3 to 5 kilograms, on your walk. This weight forces your back and shoulders to open up, correcting the hunchback posture caused by sitting at a computer. It also pushes your heart rate into the fat burning zone without the high impact stress on your knees that running causes. This is a fantastic endurance builder for busy people who want a toned and healthy body. Remember, walking is an art, and you are the artist painting the picture of your own health with every step. Don't hesitate any longer, for every minute you move is a minute you live more fully. Walking, in its deepest essence, is not just moving from point A to point B. Every walk is a small pilgrimage toward yourself. It is a sacred sanctuary of time reserved just for you. In those 30 minutes, you are not your boss's employee, you are not your children's parent, and you are not a social media account. You are simply you, a human being living, breathing, and feeling. Let's do a quick calculation. If you walk for 30 minutes every day, in 1 year, you will have spent over 180 hours in dialogue with yourself. You've spent 180 hours bathing in nature's healing, pumping fresh blood to your heart, and nourishing your brain. Do you think that after those 180 hours, you would still be the same tired, weary person you are today? Certainly not. You will become a calmer, clearer, healthier, and deeper version of yourself. Thank you for spending your precious time listening to Simple English Daily. If you feel this podcast has touched something inside you, or simply gave you the motivation to stand up from your chair, I would deeply appreciate a small token of your support. Please hit the like button so our team knows this content is helpful. Share it with your friends and loved ones who are selling themselves to an office chair day and night, so they too can find a way out for their health. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so we can continue to accompany you on deeper journeys of self-development and English improvement. I look forward to seeing you on our next journeys. Just walk, and let the path heal you.